The Southeastern Conference presents women's college basketball from Legacy Arena in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. It's a top 25 matchup.
Wait a minute, there are a lot more people in Oxford and in Nashville having a much more difficult situation than we are. That's where she drew strength, and she said there are people without water, without power, without electricity. We got a turnover to get things going. And the Ole Miss starting five, the player that we talked about, number 32, Cody McMahon, 6-foot senior. And it's Vanderbilt, and their freshman gets a touch, Aubrey Galvin. What a freshman leading the way offensively for an SEC-ranked club. And there is the Vanderbilt starting five, and we're talking about Aubrey Galvin. This is Blake's. No, we expect to see a man-to-man all game out of Ole Miss.
You're going to see Ole Miss extend their defense. It's not really pressing. It's just their defensive philosophy. Coach Joe has a system in place. Every player that comes to Oxford knows they're going to have to be able to defend, and they've got to be able to do it for 94 feet.
This is McMahon, and we watched her yesterday in practice, and you mentioned that phrase, downhill. And she puts her head down and heads towards the rim. Almost impossible to stop. A drive, a miss, second chance, and then banked on home by Christine Iwala.
Iwala getting the offensive glass, great positioning.
So Iwala will defend Blake's. And a tip ball, a deflection. And Ole Miss comes up with it, but we're going to get with as we take a look at Shea Ralph. 13 years an assistant at her alma mater, UConn. And a backdoor pick. And Michaela Blakes gets her first 2 points.
That time Blake's moving well without the basketball. Teammate frees her with the back screen. As a scorer, you always want to see that first one go in, and no better confidence builder than a layup.
Blake's coming off 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And we got a basket at the free throw line. That was Lattimore.
That time Ole Miss, we see a lot of teams utilizing the three-point shot. Ole Miss, they're going to try to get into the paint. They're going to try to take mid-range shots. And Vanderbilt electing not to necessarily pressure the basketball. Sort of a pack line look, trying to keep the Rebels out of the paint.
Medium range from the wing, no good. Rebounded by the Commodores' Emwa Tonda. Here comes Vanderbilt. Put it up in the air, did Blake's. I think she was just trying to draw a foul. The foul wasn't called.
That time Blake's very creative in creating angles. You don't have the distractions of being at home, and of course with such horrible weather conditions in Oxford, even if the game was playable there.
Yeah, and because of the weather situation, obviously the game's been moved here, but you look at the crowd at Legacy for today, and you don't know with ice and bad conditions in both Oxford and Nashville if they would have had this many people. Rejected out of bounds.
That time the freshman getting downhill. Yeah, but not quite able to get it to the glass before the outstretched defender is able to deflect it.
McMahon plays defense up top, and there's a straight-on three for Blake's.
And Blake, she can score it in a lot of ways. Very difficult to defend someone who can create scoring opportunities out of what seems like nothing.
McMahon comes right back, so our two highlight players are getting involved early. It's Galvin. Galvin pulls up, shoots, and scores. Aubrey Galvin, freshman out of Deerfield, Illinois. McMahon will need some backcourt help. We'll take a look at Mo Finley's keys to the game.
Well, Ole Miss, they play really aggressive defensively. Of course, we mentioned Vanderbilt turned the ball over a lot in South Carolina. Typically, Ole Miss plays extremely well when they dominate the paint.
How about Galvin on the behind-the-back pass to Michaela Blakes?
And that's a freshman right here in a top 25 matchup going behind her back.
That's a three, yes, it does count. Sirat Chinu, who's a three. Jada Brown is in. Brown look for the cutter. Good hands by the Rebels.
Reflected enough to create a turnover.
Interesting that McMahon does the inbounding, and here she is trying to go downhill as we talked about. Now finds an open shooter top. Got it.
Pushing the basketball Flattening out the defense that time. Though she wants to get to the rim. When she drives the basketball, she's going to draw a ton of attention, able to find the wide open teammate at the top of the key.
And the defense by the Rebels causes a turnover. Third team foul for the Commodores here in the opening quarter with just under 3 minutes. Ole Miss has McMahon driving, shooting, and scoring.
And they throw it to her right in that 15-foot area where she has an opportunity to operate in the one-on-one. Double teaming off the ball screen, forcing Ole Miss to have to make a real decision. Got a layup opportunity, couldn't convert it. And Blakes turns it into points on the other end.
Iwala, she's having a good day, a good game. Are completely opposites. North Pole, South Pole mode. Vanderbilt, they get you as a freshman and basically keep you there. Here's a run out. And a basket. Ole Miss. And this is according to Coach Yo. She's the queen of the transfer portal.
9 newcomers this season for Ole Miss. For Vanderbilt, when you go to Vanderbilt as a student athlete, you recognize the value of that degree. So maybe fewer students are willing to get into the transfer portal, of course, and having a chance to learn under a champion such as Coach Ruff, that doesn't hurt either.
Galvin with a 2-pointer. We're down to 5 seconds remaining. Opening quarter. Peterson, nice move, has an open player inside, and that is dumped in by Iwala.
There has been an official donation link set up. If you want to give to the residents of Oxford, we're going to show you guys on the screen where you can do that. But it's givebutter.com/Lafayette Cares if you would like to help support the residents of Oxford.
Good stuff. And again, Coach Yo told us yesterday, hey, all we got to do is play basketball. An inch, a solid inch of ice in Oxford. Well, if I was to describe the first quarter, you see Vanderbilt getting inside and they draw a foul.
Establishing themselves early on the inside is key to their chance at victory here this afternoon.
Foul was on Poe, and I know this because I've broadcasted with you for a few years. You're awfully glad that I said that before you did.
Well, went in time to nice diagonal cut to get her a free look on the block for the Commodores. You got to hear if you're Vanderbilt come out this second quarter, take care of the basketball. We see them, they've upped their defensive intensity just a touch.
Iwala having her way, especially on the left side. 3 for the Commodores, in and out. And then put back in. Washington on the follow, Sasha Washington.
And another second chance opportunity cashed in for the Commodores.
Certainly a height advantage on Galvin. And we got a whistle, and that's offensive on Chinu. Alabama has a freshman point guard as well by the name of Ace Austin. That's going to be one heck of a matchup, the two freshmen, Austin and Galvin. And you can see why, watching Galvin in both practice and in games. Such a talented player, and to me what sticks out is her quickness.
For me, Kurt, it's just the awareness and the IQ and the confidence, too. As a freshman, you are essentially leading a top 5 team in the country as a freshman, and she's done a fantastic job of leading this ball club.
Vandy was trying to get the ball inside to Washington, but the hands of Ole Miss stopped that. McMahon to the left. McMahon in traffic. Contact, no foul, but Cody has 11 points and on her way. And, you know, that takes a lot of moxie to be able to make that move. And
speaking of moxie, look at that from Blake. She has an array of finishes around the rim.
Denham DeShields got a touch. And then the bucket and some harm. Lattimore.
And the thing is, you're going to need it toward the end because you have a much better chance of getting the benefit of the doubt because you're playing such a tough conference schedule.
The same thing as I mentioned in football and in baseball. Turnover picked up by Iwala. McMahon, she is wrong.
But just the physicality of McMahon, she creates an angle when there is no angle because she's just stronger than everybody out there. You're not going to stop her. And she has enough finesse and enough skill and agility and balance.
She said her mentality is her biggest asset. She said, I will not let anybody outwork me. Galvin, denim to Shields, familiar with not this arena, but this city, as she had 2 years across the street at UAB at Bartow Arena. Then Mississippi State, and now finishes with 2. Did I hear you say one of my broadcast terms, right on cue?
Right on cue.
I thought I did. A miss by Vandy, and look at the guard skills. Now going downhill, McMahon spins, turn around, jump shot, good. And now Blake's has got to get hot again, Mo.
Well, she's going to always be in attack mode, and I think if you're Blake's and you're Vanderbilt, over the course of the next 2:54, she has to touch the basketball. They have a chance to close this half out and go into the locker room with a little bit of momentum. It's a 14-point contest. You don't have a clear path. Just relax. You have possession.
That's offensive. Del Rosario above the arc. Hands by Iwala. That's another steal.
And Iwala will get credit for the steal, but her teammates did a fantastic job of denying Commodores from catching the basketball.
And she finishes on the other side. Passat. Bounce pass to Passat. She'll turn around, fade away, no good. One and done for the Commodores.
Passat on the season, the second leading scorer for this Commodores team. Just her second field goal attempt of this ball game.
Some contact, no foul. And if you're Vanderbilt, you don't want to see Iwalda around the basket. Iwala, rather.
Iwala.
And it's Poe.
Drawing a crowd because she's been scoring the basketball around the rim every time she's touched it.
Christine Iwala dominating at both ends.
A layup opportunity out of what was essentially pretty good defense from the Commodores.
This is a 20-point lead for Ole Miss. Dangerous pass inside Galvin.
On a particular action, they're doing it intentionally and with purpose.
And an outstanding free throw shooter. 1 out of 2.
Able to bait her into that charge.
Waning seconds, 1 second. And that will close out the first half.
Defense travels. They have athleticism. They have length. They have versatile defenders who are all committed to playing a certain type of way. And for Vanderbilt, they have to find a way to come out and neutralize that as much as possible and as early as possible.
We got an early whistle. But Vandy, if they're going to come back, they got to do a better job on Christine Iwala. She basically had her way in the first half.
And she found herself wide open, essentially right at the rim.
Mo, she had a double-double in that first half. 10 boards, 10 points. Swish for Galvin. Screen set by Iwala. She rolls. There's your old pick and roll. Now McMahon trying to go downhill. Let the layup fly from a little too far out. Here comes Galvin. Vanderbilt needs points, and Galvin provides.
Great job. Galvin able to still find a way to put that ball up softly off the glass.
Quick 4-0 run to begin the third quarter for Vanderbilt. There's Iwala. On a low block, draws a foul. The official scores in the officials gave it to Galvin. So she must have been reaching in. Meanwhile, Christine Iwala.
Just a huge transformation from last season, physical transformation.
Blake's. Passat, top of the key. Passat, 15-footer.
And the Commodores need her to come alive here as well. She'll have to come out and look for her offense. These Commodores want to have a chance to get back into this ball game.
Iwala's going to pick up an offensive foul.
Iwala 2 fouls here in the opening 2 minutes.
Comes in for Lattimore instead. Peterson trying to defend the freshman inside. Good look, best look that Vanderbilt has had. And Sasha Washington draws a foul in the basket. Sasha Washington with 7. Commodores have outscored the Rebs 9-2 here in quarter number 3. On the floor, contact called traveling. Now, if you're really going to get back into this game, you've got to score if you're Vanderbilt. You just got another lucky bounce, so to speak. You got to build on it. Inside turnaround with the left. They do a lot of screening rolls, Ole Miss, don't they?
And that was Vanderbilt doing a nice job of switching on their defense and forcing the Rebels into some tough positions, not allowing easy catches, 3 turnovers.
And that's what we're seeing here as they've cut this lead that Ole Miss has to 10.
Also one of 2 coaches that I know, 2 teams and 2 coaches that have a husband and wife on the bench. And that Rebel defender has just picked up her 4th foul, Sira Chinu, and that will send her into a danger territory.
It's really easy to see. Also, Cody McMahon, very quiet to start the 3rd quarter as well.
Vanderbilt outscoring Ole Miss by 10 here in quarter number 3.
3 points, Natasha Lattimore.
Lattimore using her length.
3 looks or clean looks so far to start this second half.
Chance for the Commodores to score, and they do. Inside, Emwin Tanda. She's got 6. Her mother is from Congo, and the name, I'm sorry, let me try that again. It's called the Democratic Republic of Congo. There is a difference, but her mother gave her that name, and it means gift of luck. So Jakalunga, gift of luck. And the Democratic Republic of Congo. Blakes with the finish.
There's no answer for that. That's just natural talent.
You were impressed by her yesterday watching her balance. That everything she does, she gets balance. And Mo, didn't we find out that she was a dancer? Here's Denham for 3. The Shields hits the home run, her 11th.
And Ole Miss still perfect from 3. Only 3-point shot attempts today.
That is a blow-by.
And she said part of the thing is she just loves to play. She hasn't gotten bored with it. Lots of players that play early, they essentially just get tired of it. They get burnt out a little bit. She doesn't have that problem because she was late to the party.
There she goes again with the one-handed layup.
And take away angles and utilize angles as well.
The Shields gets away with a little push-off on Galvin. Cody McMahon looking to pass and draws a foul.
Great scorers can find their way to that free throw line.
Ole Miss is now in the bonus mode, so even though McMahon wasn't shooting, in case you didn't know this, the women's game does not have a 1-and-1. They have eliminated that momentum.
And it's a good answer. When you're struggling offensively to find your footing, if you can get to the foul line and convert, you can give yourself a little time to sort of reset mentally on the offensive end.
Galvin sidestep, and here comes Blakes. 2-on-2 after the steal. 23 for Michaela Blakes.
Able to turn a lazy pass into another basket.
Vanderbilt backcourt, a freshman and a sophomore. That move will draw a foul.
We didn't see the replay, but what she did was extremely smart. She made a basket going away from her strong hand, get to the middle of the lane with her left hand a second ago. Instead of trying to score it with her left hand, forced it up with her right where she knew she would get the contact.
Natasha Lattimore, born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, was 1 out of 2. Rebels lead by 7. Remember, they have beaten Vandy 5 straight times. A wing 3. I think that's just good defense.
Of course, you miss a 3 and then you give up the rebound. Huge for Vanderbilt, for Ole Miss, because they have not been able to find their rhythm offensively in this third quarter.
Lead is 9 for the Rebels. Minute and a half remaining, quarter 3. Foul will be on Ole Miss.
Well, if you're Vanderbilt, as long as you can get your best player to the foul line for a chance to score without that clock moving. Ole Miss still getting really aggressive in the half court. Michaela Blakes has essentially been doing a lot of the lifting. 24 points.
The rest of the team with 25 more.
That's all the lifting for the ball. That's a lot. It's going to free up a few more Commodore players for some opportunities. They just got to be ready to convert.
This is one of the best defensive teams in the nation, not only in the conference, in terms of Ole Miss. And yet, Michaela Blakes has 25 with a quarter to go. Galvin draws contact and scores.
Able to hang, regain her balance.
Number 15, Jack Langland. Going to the line for the Rebels. Number 32, Cody McMahon.
McMahon with 3 years at Ohio State. We talked about that. First year with Ole Miss. And I did with Denham DeShields prior to the game. Everybody on that team knows their role. There's no guessing, no wondering.
See the battle for the rebound stays here with Vanderbilt.
Dangerous pass by Galvin, picked off. Peterson.
And she ran right between 2 black jerseys.
Vanderbilt trying to finish off a very prolific quarter. They got it in the hands of Blakes. After the hesitation, there's still time. She shoots, no good. Baseline, no good. Rebound, Iwala. Vanderbilt will be kicking themselves. I beg your pardon, Shea Ralph of Vanderbilt. Her husband is on the bench. You know, Coach Yo is a member of the Bahamian Hall of Fame. McMahon, dump pass. Iwala, she's going to get called for an offensive.
Washington there taking the charge. Who's going to get in the way of these players for Ole Miss? Who's going to sacrifice their body and take a charge? Washington has done it twice.
Blakes. Look at the defense by Iwala, by the way, against Blakes. Didn't give an inch. But Blakes does a nice job finding.
Unfortunately for the Rebels, she was able to pass it to a teammate, able to score underneath.
Here's McMahon drawing in contact. Cody will head to the free throw line.
Thing to convert. And today McMahon has done a nice job of converting at the foul line.
McMahon. Mo, you interested in getting that one?
I'll jump and get it. I just need somebody to catch me to keep me from having
on the way down?
to land. I don't want to do the landing. The jumping isn't the biggest issue.
Blow by. Galvin. 7-point lead for the girls in red, white, and blue. McMahon will get called for the kick.
To be able to come out and perform knowing you're going to get every team's best defensive strategy, you're going to get their attention, it speaks volumes about her ability and her mentality.
Blakes will add 2 free throws and ball.
And I don't know, man. I still don't necessarily know if that's an intentional kick. Maybe they saw an angle that we didn't have view of, but it appears she was just lifting her leg out to try to maybe avoid Galvin, as Galvin avoids 2 defenders there and finishes with a nice lefty layup.
What was a 19-point lead is down to 3, and this girl here, McMahon's got to take control. Iwalda's got that left side that she owns.
Ole Miss denying everything, running through screens, running through DHOs as well.
Back to Blakes. And it's a foul.
Reaches over the top.
Remember, they've beaten Vanderbilt 5 straight. And Ole Miss, by the way, they've got 2 games on this court. They got Auburn as they turn it over. Right to the hands of Galvin. A no-look to Passat for 3. Got it!
And that's as clean a look as she's had all afternoon. Easy, left, right into the jump shot.
Ole Miss looking for an answer. Off by a wide margin, and Galvin.
And they've come out in this second half, and they've done just that. Especially on the defensive end, we have not seen Ole Miss operate offensively as well as we saw them in the first half.
Inside for 2+1.
It's only going to be open for a second. That ball was on time. The finish was fantastic through the contact.
Vanderbilt, coming into that possession, had led for less than 2 minutes this entire game. Now they are up by 3.
Here, Cody McMahon has to try to find a way to get downhill, get to her spots.
She'll take a jump shot off the 1 foot. Wasn't pretty, but the result was. Blake's going to try to use a screen. Short. Chinu launches and hits.
And it's not the shot you're expecting from Chinu.
4.5 remaining. Passat comes up empty. Rebound. No good. And then Iwala in traffic.
And it looked to be a little contact that time, but no whistle.
It's a whistle, and they matched. 17-footer swish.
Wide open mid-range. She's physical, she's strong enough, athletic enough to just rise up over the top of the defender that was there.
Passot, she's got 3. Ole Miss has got to keep the ball in McMahon's hands. That's their best option. Look at the double screen coming up. Finds a shooter, 3-pointer, too strong. Rebound Passat, but did she step out of bounds?
She did, almost, and she knew it right away.
So the Rebels, 2:37 left to go, up by 1. Iwala. Strong side is the left, and she finishes.
You know she's trying to get to that dominant hand.
Good defense. Poked away. Lattimore, and now the Rebels with an extra possession here, and McMahon fouled. Galvin.
And then she's able to step in front of and create the contact.
There's McMahon. To the right side, too hard. Iwala from the left side, finish.
And that's a tough physical rebound. Rebounding in traffic and finishing around the rim is Iwala.
Under 2 minutes. Blake's and the Commodores need points. Galvin. Some pushing and shoving. Galvin launches the 3.
Iwala hands down, Galvin fires.
McMahon. Lattimore stretches and scores.
Blake's not quite tall enough to contest.
Under a minute remaining. The Rebs trying to pull off an upset. 17 versus 5. That's a miss by Blake's. And it's Ole Miss with the rebound. In the hands of their star, and McMahon gets fouled by Blake's. 42 seconds remaining. Ole Miss a +4 and possession. Quick foul.
Every single night, a game that you thought essentially was out of reach. And you got to give a ton of credit to both of these teams just with how they responded, playing at the highest level.
Need points in a hurry, do the Commodores. There was a denial by Chinu, but I think they got it for a foul. By the way, Sierra Chino is fouled out. She's done as Blake's hit a big 3 in this quarter. Finishes with 6. It'll be Ole Miss Auburn right here Monday. But we've got the final 36 7/10 of a second remaining. Turned out to be an outstanding ball game. McMahon downhill finishes. Right under 30 seconds. Blake's contested and stolen away by Iwala. Back into the hands of McMahon.
Brilliant effort offensively from McMahon today. And here's the other thing. She didn't force anything in the second half. Leading scorer didn't force anything. So to let the game continue to come to her. And, of course, when it was time to make plays at the foul line, she was able to make them.
Galvin just missed a 3. Down the last 12 seconds. And the Rebels will make it 6 straight over the Commodores. There's 4 seconds. That shot is rejected. And that will end the ball game.